What's British food like abroad? Previously I tried it in Benidorm, but how's about on an entirely different continent? Have they managed to accurately import our cuisine, if you can call it that? Or have they royally cocked it up? Let's find out. I'm here in Cairo, home of the pyramids. It's like got me thinking, what is our cuisine like here on the continent of Africa? Okay, so the first place we're going to is Savora. They're supposed to sell a full English breakfast. Let's see what it's like, an Egyptian full English breakfast. And when the food eventually arrived, it seemed like we had something a little bit different to the normal full English. Yes, of course, you had your sausages, you had your bacon, you had an omelette, which is a bit different, and of course, toast. But there was also wedges.
This looks like an Egyptian twist on it. Let's see what it's like.
So first up, I decided to try some of the Egyptian bacon, which was... And next up were the wedges.
The wedges are very nice.
These are baked beans. They're literally beans in a juice, very different to ours. They taste more like real food than ours. So here's the real winner. Seems like the sausage has maybe got a bit of seasoning on it or something. Spice maybe? It does have a bit of spice on it. It's not bad though.
I'll tell you what, they've nailed toast.
Toast is just the same here, if not better. Look at that. Thickness to that. That's taste from home, is that?
Right, okay, just finished up in Savora. What an interesting full English that was. I don't think we could call it a full English, I think we could call it a half English. Sort of like a full English without a bit of culture in there. It felt to me like they'd sort of been given the recipe to make a full English and then kind of lost it halfway through and just gone, you know what, we'll do whatever we want. In terms of replicating the full English, 5 out of 10. One slither of bacon, some sausages that were seasoned quite bizarrely. They just seem to like to season stuff, which I respect. They tried to add some culture to a full English breakfast, and you just can't if you want an authentic one. It's also worth saying that that breakfast itself cost around about £3, just over £3 for that entire breakfast. The wedges were unusual. It was almost like they'd gone, we won't do hash browns out of respect for the hash brown community, because they can't be replicated outside of Britain. It's just a fact, okay? So rather than do that, we'll do some wedges instead. Sort of like halfway there, isn't it? Not really, no. I don't know where have the wedges come from in a full English. Either way, I had fun. And up next, we're gonna try and find a fish and chip shop for lunch. Fish and chips in Egypt. That's what people come to Egypt for, isn't it? Let's go. To find where this fish and chip shop place is. It is unbelievably hot. This is the hottest I've ever felt it before. I think we're getting on to 40 degrees now, 38, 39, and I'm looking for a fish and chip shop and I don't know where it is. I might have gone the wrong way. I mean, this is quite the place to have a fish and chip shop. I don't quite know where it is. I'm gonna go try and find it. Okay, here we go. Fish and chip shop here in Egypt. It's in quite a random place. Massive museum here. There's a tattoo shop down there. Now I'm heading to the fish and chip shop. Let's see what Egyptian fish and chips taste like. Okay, so I think they've expanded the definition of fish and chips a little bit here. You've got different types of fish meats, so crab and chips, shrimp and chips, shrimp spring rolls, shrimp soup, barbecued shrimp, shrimp lasagna. No, I'm just making stuff up now, it's just a reference for Forrest Gump. I don't know if they've actually got fish and chips though, as in like what we would recognise. I thought they did, but let's see. I think this might be it, group of fish, 4 pieces. Let's just order fish and chips and see what turns up. We're in Egypt, let's just see what happens. That's great, thank you very much. Okay, here we go, here's the fish, here's your chips. I don't know, is that mushy peas? I'm not sure what that is. Coleslaw and maybe a curry sauce type thing. But look at a bit of seasoning on the chips. They do usually serve them with like wedges, what they look like wedges anyway. I asked for fries instead and they kindly made that up for me. But this looks very interesting. 4 pieces of fish as opposed to just one long one that you get in the UK. This could be interesting. Okay, so it is in a batter, just like at home. As you can see there, it is very similar to what we have back home. Let's see what it tastes like. It tastes a little bit different, but it tastes good. It tastes really good, actually. It definitely feels like an Egyptian twist on it. I'm not quite sure what the twist is. I mean, the fish is really, really hot. To be eating it on a day like today when it's already 40 degrees. Whew. Fries taste like fries. A little bit of seasoning on them. You won't get this at your local chippy. Seasonal, fries, no chance. But I'll tell you what, that is a decent fish and chips, is that? I'm quite impressed here. They've got a modern twist on the fish and chips. Who would have thought you could do anything else to it, but Egypt have found a way. Now let's see what this is exactly. Whether it is a mushy pea type thing. Okay. It's got mint in. Maybe this isn't mushy peas. Maybe it's like a mint sauce. But I'm not getting any pea coming through. As for this, is it a curry sauce? Oh no, man down. Oh no. Well, that's not That's not gone well. Let's see, I'm curious, is this curry sauce? If it is, it's probably going to be really hot. It's not, but it is hot, Jesus. Properly hot. It's fine, just a bit cherry. I'm not sure it's actually a curry sauce though. I think it might be like a spicy salsa. Quite nice if I could stand the spice. It's starting to get a runny nose now. That's a damn good fish and chips. In Egypt. It needs some salt, it needs some vinegar though. But I'm very impressed. There might be too much for me to eat here, you know? Oh no, I found space now. I've finished it. Didn't have any of the coleslaw. It's not really my kind of thing, that. Quite into the pea mint thing. I don't know if it is pea related or just mint related, but credit to Egypt, they've added a new condiment there. Overall though, an Egyptian twist on it, but fish and chips ultimately. It almost felt related to the fish and chips we have back home, like a sort of creepy uncle sort of version of it. And you sort of take that when you're in Egypt, don't you? If you are looking for fish and chips in Egypt for God knows why, then you know you can rely on the fact that this is a solid 7 out of 10 in terms of its replication. I'm very impressed with that. It's pretty close to fish and chips, just a bit weird. We've got one more place to go. We are going to also try and fit in a snack if we can, a British snack if we can find one. We've got one more meal to have today, and it's going to be at a place called Harry's Pub, which is in theory a British pub in Egypt. Okay, back in the hotel, and now it's time for a little afternoon snack, and of course we need it to be a British snack. So let's head into the minibar. Waters, Oreos, no. Oh, Kit Kat. But this is an Egyptian Kit Kat. It's an Egyptian version of it. It's got Egyptian writing on, otherwise known as Arabic. But what does it taste like? It's got a similar sort of peel, and you just open up the spine region of said Kit Kat, and then what we're looking for here is a lovely little break. Oh, felt a little tingle there. It's like one of those sort of chiropractor videos, isn't it? Ooh, bit of cracking. It's usually not a good sign in the chiropractor videos because they've usually broken your spine. Oh no, me D5 disc. Oh, I don't know. In we go. Hang on a minute. There's an inner softness to this. I was expecting it to be hard and to really cut through, but it's a big softie. Very thin layer of chocolate, quite a lot of biscuitiness going through there. Doesn't taste Egyptian, still got that British flavour to it. Is the wafer now starting to override it? For me, I think they've cut back on the chocolate recently. I wonder if there's been a recipe change recently, because to me, the amount of chocolate on that is getting less and less. It's more of a biscuit now. It's got that snap though. You need that snap, and it's got the snap, but it under-delivers on the chocolate part. It doesn't have enough of that chocolatiness going through for me. It's a halfway house between a chocolate bar and a biscuit. It doesn't know what it wants to be. Double down on one or the other. That's all I want it to be, just one or the other. But yeah, overall it's a Kit Kat. Overall, in terms of its ability to compete with the British Kit Kat, I'd say that's a solid 8 out of 10 in terms of replicability. But we got one more place to go. Harry's Pub. A British pub selling British food here in Egypt. Let's go. Okay, it's now the next day. I didn't end up going to Harry's Pub because, and there's no nice way of putting this, I got the runs. Yeah, the old stomach didn't really cope with the food that well. Or something else, I don't know what it is that I've had. But yes, a little bit of liquid down there, which is fun. So now Harry's Pub is closed, and I'm due to fly out before it opens. So I might have found somewhere else to go, but I'm still struggling in that department, so I'm a bit worried about leaving the room. I have to anyway, because I've got to check out soon. I'm now going to go to a place called Roy's Smokehouse. Not Harry's Pub, Roy's Smokehouse now. Hopefully I'm going there anyway. I don't know if I've got it in me. This is the thing though, so we've got like an arse hose here. Look through this glass head. If that is an arse hose, you know what you do with that. And despite the sort of situation in that region, somehow I've ended up with the cleanest arse in Cairo, which is thanks to the arse hose. But no, still not in a good bowlick situation. Bowlick, is that even a word? The bowels are not holding up well. The anus is hurting. Too much information, okay. Roy's Smokehouse. Hope they've got good toilets there. Let's go. Okay, so we've just been dropped off, and I think this place might be inside the Marriott Hotel. Not exactly sort of dressed for a nice place. I don't know whether it is fancy or not, I'm not quite sure. But we're going to try and find Roy's Steakhouse, Smokehouse. Honestly, on the way here though, I just saw a family of 4 on a motorbike. The dad was riding the motorbike, kid was in front of him, he had a kid behind him, and then the wife was right on the back of the motorbike. No idea how he's managed that, but fair play. I thought 3 was pushing it. I've seen a lot of people with 3 people on a bike, but 4's topped it. Anyway, let's go try and find this smokehouse. They've got like security and stuff to get into the hotel, which seems a bit much, but I guess I can just sort of walk through. Looks like quite a fancy place here, and I'm dressed in a Leeds top. Gonna be even more out of place than usual. This is very fancy. I stand out like a sore thumb. The only issue is, it seems like you need a card to get in, which I don't have.
This might be an issue.
Lamb chops is British, isn't it? I feel like it is.
Okay, just finished up in Roy's Smokehouse. I couldn't really film much in there, to be honest. I was the only person in there. Didn't even think it was open at first. And it was unbelievable. It was really, really nice. The lamb was so soft, so succulent. Really, really impressive. Chips for chips. Didn't have any other stuff. It came with other stuff in pots, little dishes, didn't bother. Just had the meat. And God, I'm full now. In terms of how much it was like British food, better than British food. Out of 10, I'll give it 11. You gotta give it, smashed it out of the park. Taste, just 10. Just give it a 10 solid. I mean, it was unbelievable, really. The lamb was fantastic. I think the meal cost £21, which is pretty expensive, really, for here. The hotel's pretty nice hotel. Yeah, had airport checks as well. Like airport scanners you had to go through, you had to put your bag through a little checker. I still don't even know if I'm supposed to be here, to be honest, but I am. I've eaten now, so they can't do anything. They're not going to extract that out of me. But no, really good meal. I'm now full to the brim, and I don't want to be dramatic, but I feel like I might die. So on that note, Egypt did a pretty good job with the British food. Respect it. Goodbye.